it's me. It's Jesus, another solo episode of Crit Chats with Jesus. Here's where I take over our show and we just add a lot of heavy metal music to it. It's the only difference. And we don't have the beautiful crease to entertain y'all. But today I wanted to read some Reddit stories, some D&D horror stories. Well, I don't know. I just recently started this whole Reddit journey, so we're gonna see what is up. This first one is really short, but let's get into it. I played yesterday with players who played a custom RPG system, dope, other games out there other than D&D, and we started in a tavern, classic. I introduced them to the barman, and they asked me to skip their appearance and thought so they ask you to skip their appearance, ask you to skip explaining it? Okay, that's fucking rude. Throughout the session, they split up from each other and refused everything, and asked me to skip every detail. Oof. Can I get some help? Oh my. Well, I personally do a D&D 101 panel at many cons, and the first thing that we discuss is what is a good player versus a bad player. This is definitely bad players. Like, the DM is putting their everything into this, so many hours, time, energy, to just be like, fuck that, I'm gonna do whatever I want, and then not participate. Like, this could have been helped out with session 0. What are the expectations? What do you want out of this game? What are we going to do? Are we big epic adventurers? Grimdark, jokey game. But this just plain rude. This is hella rude. Communication fixes 99% of all problems. It would just be like, hey, this was very rude. Why are you doing this? Are you used to other specific game styles? Are they just, maybe they're into like a Warhammer type systems, or like this pure combat that they don't care about that? And if that's the case, maybe this isn't the right table. Well, normally I would try to read some of the comments, but for some reason I can't. I might be just brand new to Reddit and don't know what the heck I'm doing. Okay, this one, the title got me, so that's why I'm reading it. It's not very old. It's not very old. It just came out 3 months ago from when I'm reading this. It is titled "I Made My Mom Cry," which is either very humbling or you sound like a piece of shit. So let's get into it. Just wanted to share today's session. I recently introduced my family to D&D and started a basic campaign. Today's session, I made a homebrew Christmas themed adventure on which mom and 2 older sisters, had to rescue some kids kidnapped by Krampus. That's cute. I do like the idea when you're in the seasons. Halloween, do a Halloween one shot. Valentine's Day, Valentine's one shot. It just, like, it helps being in the mood and just, I don't know. Also, the fact that you're playing D&D with your fam, that's dope. I played D&D with my sister a couple of times, and let me tell you what, she is chaotic as hell. We did a one shot during International Down Syndrome Day, and oh my god, she was a loose cannon. She was just fireballing everything she could. It was both amazing. Could not be prouder of her. We used to make a lot of chaos, and unfortunately during the adventures they had a consequence. One of the kids died during the ritual. They tried to interrupt. That sucks. My mind immediately just went to fuck them kids, but like that sucks. But you're showing that there are consequences to actions, which, like, I don't know if I could do that in a game. Maybe the kid went unconscious, got kidnapped, I don't know, but like, flat out just rip, I don't know. At the end, Santa Claus took the kid's body with him. Santa Claus gave a very emotional speech, which made my mom cry. Oh, okay. There we go. I've been there in those situations where you as the DM or GM are doing a game and it's very emotional and it triggers something in your players and it's very real, and it's D&D sometimes can be an emotional roller coaster. Most of the time I get a little frustrated because I have to repeat the rules and they get a little lost in the character sheets. Understandable. I like the idea of color coordinating your character sheets or just making a very simplified version of character sheets. There's a lot out there you can get. This time, all that didn't even matter when I realized at least my mom was emotionally involved in the story. This was a very cathartic moment in which I had to hold my tears so I can continue sense of speech, which is awesome. They're in the story, you did your job. If it was happiness, sadness, hatred, if the DM invokes an emotion onto the players, that it was an intended emotion, and the game told a fantastic story. I mean, what more do you want? That's amazing. Alright, and some comments. Let's do the best. Only time that it's acceptable to make your mother cry. Yeah, pretty much. As a Hispanic man, as all Hispanic men, you are by default mama's boy, so agree. Congratulations, I made my wife cry in a opening session because I took the tragic backstory and made her roleplay it. It was so meaningful to the party. I mean, yeah, these little bits and pieces of D&D that we take and we RP and like they get molded in our brains and we live those experiences and we are putting ourselves through other people's shoes and just like living their struggles, and we're growing as people, become more empathetic, more sympathetic, more compassionate. Which I feel that is one of the greatest strengths about role-playing games, that like you just grow as a person. That is just the inedible thing of these games. Last little comment we're gonna read is very wholesome. I always try to make my players feel powerful emotions, but in reality it's just a bunch of goofballs who find everything hilarious, which is fair enough. We start D&C primarily because we wanted to have an escapism from the world, and the world sucks sometimes, especially nowadays with a lot of rights being threatened, and hopefully on Friday nights you get to come to our show, watch a little bit of D&D and forget about it and just like recenter, like heal a little bit, regain that energy. And like sometimes it's just, that's what it is. It's a whole bunch of fun, just people goofing off and making jokes. Two awesome Reddit stories, very beautiful one, and one that's sometimes is not the right table. Sometimes you might need to move on. Best advice that I have for that person is you gotta talk to your players and find that, hey, why are you doing this? And if it's just, I'm not interested in your story, that comes out as disrespectful, and maybe it's not the right group. Maybe someone else should play. Maybe it's not the right system. That could also be it. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed these two Reddit stories. That's a doggo barking. Well, don't forget to be kind to one another. Don't forget to love each other. And we'll see you in the next one. Adios. Bye, everybody.